Welcome to the Daily Fox Fuel, where we train kingdom-minded creatives, leaders, and builders to become highly skilled craftsmen. Each episode is your spark of strategy, scripture, and straight-up truth to help you walk out your calling with excellence. Now let's get to work. Yo, what's up, crew? Hope your day is going well. Whatever time of day you're listening to this, hope it is an amazing day so far. Let's jump in. Today, I want to impress upon you that more is not always better. Talking depth over density here. More meetings, more ideas, more words, more things oftentimes does not lead to a better output. Instead, what I want to challenge you to think on is depth. Now, hear me out. This is not noise, not clutter, not more. You need to go deeper before you go wider. And this is such a hard concept for us, I think, especially depending on what your role is, what organization you're working on. But the majority of them, especially if you were a leader of any capacity listening to this podcast, you know that there's always more. There's always going to be more to do, more people to reach, more things to do, more quotas to hit, more events to have. And I want to just challenge you to think differently. What if instead of more things, we just had deeper connections? What if the amount of energy and time we spent on things, whether it's the task, an event, a person, what if we went deeper instead of wider? Personally, I struggle with this because I am a person who just is bouncing around, having a bunch of things to do, always busy, never settling, never resting. And one, that's not great for the soul. But number two, like, it doesn't allow the depth to happen to get really good at what you're trying to achieve. What are we here to do on this earth, right? I believe that having jam-packed timelines just does not leave room for God to move. Now, this isn't obviously an excuse to escape the work that's in front of us, right? Where, I mean, we'd all love a whole entire day to do one task. That's not the philosophy here. The philosophy here is not to take everything off your plate and take all the things off of your list to do and just sit and meditate like a monk for the rest of your life, which is an option, and you can totally go do that, right? I highly doubt that that's where you're called to be right now. Especially if you're listening to this podcast, because you are a leader of something and people. So, but the reality is how can we look at the things that are on our lists? How can we look at the things that we're doing? How can we help support our leadership by leading them in a way of effectiveness through depth versus density? Space creates clarity. Space allows the mind to not only connect with God, but it also allows it to see and really download everything that you're working on and be able to see it from a different perspective. Margin allows meaning to surface. Room makes way for that revelation, whether it's in that project, that idea, that thing that you're trying to start. The space, the margin, the room, all of that brings to light and helps move something forward versus just a lot of things to do, a lot of busy work. Luke 5:16, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. He often withdrew. How often are you withdrawing? How often, hopefully daily, but how often are you taking a step back from what is really going on in the day-to-day to reset your mind and focus on what's important? Being able to prioritize. I think that's a skill that'll be another Fox Fuel one day, is being able to understand what's priority and what's not. Where do I spend my time and where do I not? That's an important skill to learn, and I'd recommend it, especially if you are trying to enhance this concept of depth over density. But back to the point. If the Son of God needed margin, you probably do too. So take a moment, ask yourself this question. You're listening to this podcast, hit pause real quick. Ask yourself, what do you need to clear so that God can speak? What on your agenda? What meeting? What thing are you consistently finding yourself doing that you need to just remove so that God can speak to you and allow you to make space for deeper things? Hey crew, before you jet, make sure you share this episode with a friend and leave us a rating. Thanks for tuning in today, and remember, stay foxy.